How will your love story unfold? I just did a beautiful reading as to what do they hold in their heart for you. And this could be a follow-on video to that, or this could be a standalone video. So let us have a look. For the viewer, please, may we have a look at what might come next in their love story. What do we need to know about how their love story is going to unfold, please? How might the viewer's love story unfold? Okay, bottom of the deck, we have got the King of Pentacles. Interesting, because we'd seen the Knight and the Queen of Pentacles in our previous reading. We have got the Knight of Blades, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the first card out was the Chariot. This feels like a story that talks about movement, of choices, collaborations, patience, and even mastery. The cards are showing that there is this momentum of moving forward, but that there may have moments of pause, reassessment, and even the need for balance. Let's break this story down card by card. The first thing that I noticed is that we have got two opposing cards. We have the Chariot card and we have the Hanged Man card. Now, the Chariot card is a card that often speaks about things moving forward at a very rapid pace. That would certainly be one of its traditional meanings. But we can also see that there is this Hanged Man here, which is talking about things at a standstill. I'm going to come back to those in a moment, but I want to look at this Two of Pentacles here first. Now, putting aside its classic traditional meaning, which is one of balance. In this particular deck, I see something that's a little bit different. I see it as two people who are possibly in separation. There could be a location challenge, an emotional distance, or even two who might not be currently talking. And it's quite interesting because we can see that they are mirroring one another, and inside these pentacles we can see that there are these hearts. So one of my personal interpretations of this card is two hearts that beat as one. Meaning that even if you are at a distance from one another, you can still pick up on one another's emotions and thoughts. The image here kind of gives me that feeling of two peas that are in a pod. And again, with the Three of Pentacles, a non-traditional meaning of this card really goes for the illustration and how I interpret the card. I often do see this once again as potentially a third-party situation. Now, third party is not always talking about another person, although it can be. A third party can be indeed a distance that we spoke of, physically and location-wise. It can also be talking about religious differences, culture differences, age differences. I often imagine that this is you and the other person, and there's this obstacle in the middle that you are both orbiting around. I'm really observing the snake on this card, and we have just entered the year of the snake. So it feels like this particular story that we are looking at is a story for 2025. So there could potentially be obstacles that are between you, but it feels like if we then come in and use the traditional meaning of this card, it is talking about coming into some kind of collaboration. And this doesn't necessarily feel easy. It feels like there's push-pull type of dynamic that is going on, especially with these two cards that we'd mentioned here. And even if we were to look at this particular illustration here, and it's not until I've just picked up this card that I've noticed that yes, it's the Chariot card, but it has come in reverse. That puts these two cards far more in alignment. I did not notice that at first. And how this can affect the story is certainly by talking about an uncertainty or even a lack of direction about where this relationship might be heading to. This connection may have a really strong potential, but without a clear direction or mutual effort, things might feel very stuck. The other observation that I've always made about this particular Chariot card was the way that the heads are facing. If we think logically for a moment about if we were driving forward a chariot, then the beasts that would be pulling the chariot forward would have to be working together and having their heads faced in the same direction. Otherwise, the chariot would not be able to move. It would be at standstill. So this could be asking, are you and your person on the same page? Is this love moving forward, or is there someone who is hesitant about moving this forward? There certainly could be these challenges that we spoke of, such as distance, third-party situations, religious, cultural differences, age differences. Or there even could be one partner who's trying to control the pace or the direction or even the outcome of this particular relationship. In the reverse, this can be talking about the fear of losing independence. So there certainly is something that is slowing this love down and might need to be asking the question of what needs to shift before you can move forward. When we see it in combination with the Two of Pentacles, it could very much be talking about an imbalance, or like one or both people are just juggling too many responsibilities and leading to this indecision. And within this, we can see that there may be a need for teamwork or for compromise. Miscommunication or external factors might be something that are delaying the progress. There certainly is potential here, especially when we bring in this King of Pentacles. This talks about the potential for stability and for long-term success. But first, whatever control issues or misalignment must be resolved. We also have this Knight of Blades or Knight of Swords, and this again would be an opposing force. This is fast action and fast thinking. And when I see this card, I always think of someone who has a lot on their mind. We can see that the sword is through the skull. And this could be talking about someone who is acting impulsively, rushing, or wanting to make decisions without truly thinking them through. All in all, there is a connection between the both of you. Underneath that King of Pentacles that had been bottom of the deck, then this Heart card, this Lover's card, has come back up again. Really tying this all together, we've acknowledged that there is this bond and that there could potentially be challenges here. One of the lesser known meanings of the Lover's card is talking about two paths that are going to be presented and having to make certain choices. I'm going to continue in just a moment, but for anyone who has been very curious about learning Beginner's Tarot, then I have put together a wonderful online course for you that you can do at your own pace, and keep an eye out in the next week or two as I'm going to be releasing the intermediate tarot class where we're really going to be going into depth with this particular deck. Looking at the symbology of the anatomy parts and also the florals and the other symbols that we see within this deck. I also have a couple of Valentine's Day special offers. One is of Valentine's Day tarot readings. They are on sale currently, and I believe that there's about 3 of those that are left. And I'm also offering a Valentine's Day candle ceremony. There are only 10 of those available, and a number of them have already sold. But coming back to this story, there certainly is love. There certainly is a heart connection that we see, even if you are at a distance from one another. It really feels like there is communication that is needed, and that both of you may be on a slightly different page. You might have a rough idea of the direction in which you want to go, but the way of getting there might be the issue. And how long it might take, especially here with that hanged man that we had seen here. There may be a need for surrender if someone is trying to force this relationship into a specific direction. Then maybe it's time to step back and allow things to unfold naturally. It is always wise to understand that this slowdown might be happening for a reason, as it could be giving you or this other person time to really think things through. It does not feel like this love story is completely over. However, there is something that is preventing its smooth progress. There is potentially realignment that is needing to happen. Of course, as I always say, this is a collective reading and therefore it is not going to resonate with everyone, and nor is it meant to. So please listen to your own intuition as to whether this is your particular story. If you would like your own private tarot reading, then I do have a few same-day readings that are available, and I have a few Zoom calls, one-on-one Zoom calls that are available for this coming week. The links to everything that I have discussed with you in this tarot reading are within my bio, even this beautiful deck. This deck is called Antique Anatomy, and you will find it if you scroll down about halfway through my bio. You will see it listed under my favorite tarot decks.